Good morning and welcome back towards another video, and today we are going to be venturing into the dungeon of Scholomance. Now, one thing to actually note is you can use the newer version of Scholomance. However, I prefer to use the old version, which does take a little bit of a lengthy quest chain in order to unlock, but if you are a regular gold farmer you probably have done this already, as this opens up all of the Scourge stones in order to get that Naxxramas gear, which is the lamented set from Nax. And that being said, with Scholomance there are a few different types of items of note. However, the yields from this is quite good. However, what I prefer to do is I like to run the dungeon in its entirety. There's batches of different types of mobs when you're actually farming this up, and it's fairly easy to just burn them all down, gather it all up, and get that all done in that sense. I always make my way over towards Headmaster Gandling by taking out all of his different types of disciples and the bosses within there, and then I just basically burn everything down, just go on a mass slaughtering spree. The items of note that you can get from this dungeon is the Staff of Jordan, which currently is going for about 15,000 gold, but the region historical price is around about 100,000 gold. Following on to that is the Cold Stone Slippers, which go for around about 50,000 gold. You've got the Tattered Leather Hood, around about 40,000 gold, and the Icy Tomb Spolders, which I got the other day when doing that run, is going for around about 70,000 gold on my server, but the region market average is around about 300,000. It's probably a little bit overvalued in that sense, so maybe reducing the price on that one will actually yield that a bit better. However, the thing with Scholomance is the majority of all the items that you actually get from this dungeon actually sell relatively well in the grand scheme of transmog selling. Now, for anyone that's into transmog and just farming that up and selling it, transmog takes a very long time to sell. We've already covered this. I've done multiple different types of videos covering this, and it is the variety that matters and the quantities that you're actually selling at. However, with a higher sell rate than average, this is a perfect pick for if you actually want to just start trying to build up items that will actually sell. And the Icy Tomb Spolders, with it having a low drop chance, fair enough, but if you are able to get it, the sell rate on that is higher than the expected average of transmog in general, so be prepared for all of that. As well as the Tattered Hood. The Tattered Hood has an actual pretty good sell rate, as well as the Cold Stone Slippers, so you realistically, if you get one of these keynote items, you're most likely going to be able to sell it a lot easier than you would farming something else and then selling that on. With that being said, always be prepared with transmog that they can be overvalued. Scholomance is definitely a keynote place to actually farm up. I prefer farming the old version of Scholomance, mainly due in part that I just find it easier. It has the same loot table as the other one, more or less, and when it comes towards the high-end transmog that you get from this, which we've just covered, Scholomance, just the old version works best for me, so I would rather recommend something that works for me other than going with the basic one. That being said, with the old version, you do get a lot more dark runes for your runs. Dark runes are used in a lot of different types of crafts, and you can sell those on for quick gold. And literally only doing a couple of runs got me about 8 dark runes, and they go for about 150 gold each. So if you do a 10 run lockout, that's not too bad. And if you generally want to try your hand at transmog dabbling and farming up some materials, Scholomance really does hit that high end for you in that sense. Remember that you do need to do the quest chain in order to actually unlock it, but aside from that, pretty good pick, and it's one of the ones that I'm really enjoying right now when it comes towards gold farming. Other than that, have an awesome rest of your day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.